Hi, Sharmi. Hi, Chinaka. So, for those who
Good
did
morning,
not,
doctor.
good morning. For those who did not attend my talk yesterday, this is going to be eye-opening because we see heart patients all the time, right? Every family has old people or young people or middle-aged people having had a heart attack or a stroke or high blood pressure or having some tests done that telling them that they have heart disease, and people can have high calcium score on the calcium scan, or they can have a angiogram done that showed them some blocks, and uh, variety of things like that. See, people are successful doing their jobs, being in the corporation as an executive, and suddenly they discover that health is a real challenge. You know, they have a strategy for their career, but they don't have a strategy for their heart. You know, so I have been raised in cardiology ever since I was very young. You know, so I think I was around 22 years when I completed my internship in MBBS in India, and I was to uh, just about to get out of it. Then I got this opportunity to work in cardiology department as a senior housemaid for additional training of 6 months. No pay, but lot of experience. So, and then the unit I had in a Guttur General Hospital where I was born and raised has a very sophisticated unit in the country itself. Why? Because they had these Europeans coming to Guntur on business of cotton and also mitch and also tobacco, right? So there's a big business. So a lot of white people have to come, and they had a series of villas built for them in what we call Ring Road. That's the edge of the town, but it encircles the town. But one part of it filled with all these villas. Each villa is a huge one with a big compound wall and a front garden, and back there is a swimming pool and a lot of bedrooms in there. So they were very luxurious homes they built for these people. But then these people came up with the heart problems too. So they needed a very good unit. So they earned a lot of money to have this unit located in our hospital with all monitoring, closed circuit cardiac monitoring. That was unheard of at the time. We had 6 beds, telemetry, and then we were sitting in one room and studying all the rhythms that they have, and then interfered as we discovered the serious cardiac rhythms like a fibrillation, ventricular tachycardia, or heart block, any number of them. So I kind of grew in cardiology, right? So seeing people coming and collapsing on the floor, and we had to defibrillate them on the floor itself, shock them, right? And a lot of people came after their myocardium is completely damaged. So from there, not even though our technology improved, our services improved. See, we have now ambulances that act as walking ICUs. That means we can put monitoring equipment in the ambulance and send it to the patient, and the patient will be uh, receiving monitored care through us, because the monitors that they place on there will send me the EKG patterns into my emergency room or into my office or into my ward, whatever, right? Then from there, I can telephone them, give this adrenaline or give this, whatever medication, lidocaine, whatever medication I want, I could give them. So instead of waiting all the way coming to the hospital, they used to give these drugs to the patient as though the patient is in ICU, and that worked very well for a lot of people. But many people did not call ambulance, wanted to wait for the next morning, and they woke up dead. Say that was the problem. So even though cardiac care improved, technology improved, knowledge has improved, that is after the attack. So we have a wonderful care, and lots of time we kind of revived these people, and they went out and continued the same behavior, same things that they were doing before, and then they were having recurrent heart attack, strokes, and all that. So, having had a stroke history in my family, my father, he had a stroke when I was 2 years old. So when I grew up, I knew the effect of not having the father and also having lost him to the stroke. That also motivated me to help people, to save them from their strokes and heart attacks, right? That became a theme for me. And then when I came and practiced in United States internal medicine more than 40 years, I've seen thousands of heart attacks, thousands of strokes, obviously, right? And the same thing, people are not having a strategy about their heart health, and they are allowing all their daily eating, not working, not moving, not sleeping, and really going through a lot of stress as an executive, and the result is they are having more and more heart attacks, right? So I always ask anybody who I meet, like, who is an executive, like a CEO, CFO, CIO, or any number, or CWO, all these people who are in the core functioning of the corporation, when I ask them, what is your strategy for your heart? They usually say, oh, I eat less salt and I kind of exercise uh, in the gym, or I play something. They will say that, but none of it, none of it. But I have 8 things that I want them to make a dashboard of. See, normally every executive has a dashboard of everybody organization performance, and you want to measure what you are performing, and whatever you measure, it gets managed. That is simple thing, right? But now an executive may want to do the revenue, cash flow, what are the people working for me, what are the operations going on, what are the risks I'm taking, what's the cyber security, these kind of things, right? But what I'm talking about is, how is your blood pressure, how is your blood glucose, how is your cholesterol, how is the stress response, how is your sleep and recovery, how is your medical follow. These are the things that you want to have a dashboard, so that you can follow them, you can know the numbers, and you can monitor them, and as you monitor them, you can measure them, and you can, what you measure, you can fix them, right? So with all this cardiac ambulances, early detection and defibrillation, ACLS, all the improvement that we made in cardiac care still has not removed cardiac illness as the number one cause of leading cause of death. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death in the United States and around the world. Okay, so it's a global human challenge, because 19.8 million people had cardiovascular deaths in 2022. That's the latest statistics I'm telling you. And 32% for all global deaths. 32%. And also 80% of them have either heart attack or stroke. Of all cardiovascular deaths, they are attributed to these two events. That's why we call them the end events, cardiac events, stroke and heart attack. One of my aims of my establishment my international practice was, how can we reduce strokes and heart attacks in this community? And we succeeded, because we followed a pattern, right? Okay? So cardiac disease is not just one disease. You have the coronary artery disease, which we're going to focus a lot on, where your heart vessels are blocked, and then your heart muscle doesn't get the oxygen, so it gets ischemic, lack of oxygen, and then muscle dies. So that is the heart attack, right? And then you can have clot in your heart that can travel and give you stroke, or clot anywhere else can go and give you a stroke in the brain. So you have heart attack, you have stroke, and then you have irregular rhythms, arrhythmias. Number of them happen. Okay? We have a lot of technological improvement for them also, and also we have heart failure. That is the biggest problem. Muscle dies, heart cannot, contract properly. So we have to replace the heart. Otherwise, it goes into failure, right? Backed up blood and all that. So, and also not only the heart, you have vessels in the periphery of you, the limbs and neck and all that. They have problem with that too. So we got to understand heart disease is not just only heart attack; it is got the peripheral vessels also. Now, what is the risk network of this cardiac disease? First of all, you may have a genetical background, family history, and also age. Early age, you can have it in your family, and of course, blood glucose high, cholesterol high, and blood pressure high. That is a risk factor, and people become obese, weight and metabolic health, that's a problem. And they don't really do the nutrition very well, they don't move very well, and they drink alcohol and drink smoking too, and they don't really engage with their own health, and they don't sleep well, and also they don't engage with the healthcare system. Your doctor, they may go once in a while, but they don't engage as much as they should. Okay, so that's why uh, as the executives go on getting their degrees, working in the jobs and high risk jobs, they may have the cholesterol growing up slowly, and they may have plaques in their heart vessels growing up slowly, and then that risk can be quiet. It doesn't have to produce symptoms right away. Only at the advanced stage, sometimes it does produce that. Okay, people do respond when they have chest pain, shortness of breath, heart palpitation, like that. But you got to catch these people very early. If you take a 20-year-old these days, if you check their cholesterol, that will be very high because they eat all these fast foods most of the time, right? Especially that is so true in the United States. Many young people are raised on the McDonald's or Burger King or whatever fast food chains. So the cholesterol is very high, and blood sugar also very high. And the top of it, people don't move. They go into the cars, they go elevators and all that. So they don't have physical activity. Combination of this, not moving the body and eating a lot of bad food and not sleeping and having so much stress at work, all this really making what I call executive paradox. That means we plan for the financial risk, and we protect our data systems, we insure our buildings and assets, we prepare succession plans, legal wills, and all that. But we don't take care of our body and the health and wellness. That is very evident, right? I'm talking about the majority of the people. Okay, some people may do that, but majority of the people I encounter as a physician, as somebody who is interested in wellness of human beings, I see that. Okay, so uh, actually, your body is your first enterprise. Your brain makes every decision, interprets every signal, and drives every strategy. Your heart sustains the organism through which leadership happens. And then your body, it carries the leader through decades of demanding work. And your mind interprets the world and shapes how you lead within it. So for all this, you got to provide leadership for the body management, mind management. Okay, but many people wait for the wake up call. Okay, they react to something that's happening within them as a pain, shortness of breath, palpitation, any number of things, or weakness or stroke symptoms and all. So they don't design a protective path that cultivating the wellness is while you are well. That's the thing. You got to be aware. You got to know the structure. You have to have some intentional daily practices before the emergency arrives. This is about that. I'm going to do a webinar next week, and in that webinar, you will see a lot more details about what I'm offering and all that. Okay, so you can basically you can identify your risk factors and modify them, and you can adopt a lifestyle as a medicine and change your lifestyle, and then you can have medical management before you have real serious surgery. Okay, all these are possible. They say So risk is not a destiny. It is awareness plus action changes the trajectory. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So modern cardiovascular health has eight essential dimensions. One is blood sugar, second is blood pressure. Manage the blood sugar is you have to eat better, you have to control cholesterol, and you have to manage weight. Okay, they become the one, the three on the managing blood sugar. And managing blood pressure is you got to be more active, and you got to quit smoking, and you got to sleep healthy. This will control your blood pressure better. Okay, so remember that blood sugar, managing the blood sugar, managing blood pressure, managing weight, cholesterol, and eating better, being more active, quitting smoking, and sleeping well. These are the eight essential dimensions I work on, and I devised a program of 12 weeks where these eight dimensions are taken and discussed and presented and given a plan for the person who coming to seek advice from. Okay, so just because you know these things is not enough. You got to be practicing them. Okay, so in my case, my father's stroke, and then the medical practice, and the number of people I saw, and I also saw the ACLS training every 2 years, and then went and did ACLS on in ICU and everywhere. I saw people when they have an emergency, how we do how we save them. Okay, but it is about really not getting the emergency and taking care of ourselves even before the emergency knocks us out of the slumber. It awakens us, right? So that's what we want to do. So what happened during that years before is important, when only the attack. And what behaviors became routine for you that has enhances these problems, right? And what opportunities existed for earlier action. Once you detect them, even if you have started late, you can continue, you can do much better than if you don't do any of that. Okay, so and from my personal experience also, uh, I had a stroke because I had abnormal vessels in my brain, I believe, and but I kind of came out of it because I knew all these things before, and I was practicing somewhat. Even though I had an attack, I was able to get out of it quickly. That's also another advantage for people. Okay, when you recover journey, it's not only medical treatment that's important, but also physical rehab and persistent participation, and really regain all the functional recovery that is possible. Okay, so uh, I kind of do yoga, I kind of do breathing, I kind of live in the present. Those three habits helped me a lot. Okay, so uh, first my father having this stroke, and then working in cardiology very early, and then practicing preventive cardiology, internal medicine, and ACLS, and also my own personal experience with stroke. All this led me to develop proactive wellness for cardiac patients. And that is where you have from the ACLS, where advanced cardiac life support, which we learn to proactive wellness, where proactive wellness they cultivate lifelong heart health, and you do the risk factor management lifelong. And then if something acute should happen, immediate treatment for events can be done by the modern medicine. And then emergency response also there when you need it with the ACLS protocols and all that. But after recovering from the acute event, you got to go to the lifestyle changes and then do that. Uh, so you have to answer yourself, do I have high blood pressure? Do I have high cholesterol? Do I have high glucose? And do I have a family history in my family? A genetic background is there, and also what is the medical follow-up I'm doing for my blood pressure or other things? Okay, and also do I eat properly? Do I move properly? Do I sleep well? Do I manage my stress? All these things you have to take an inventory, and then do that audit, continue the audit through all this consistent exercise, good nutrition, good sleep, and stress recovery, and really be aware of what are the emergencies that can happen. And also, you can have a written wellness plan which you should be doing. So, uh, you once you have a score to identify all this, which I will provide, then you will see clearly, honestly, what's going on with you. Okay, and then you can learn to build your personal heart dashboard, where what is the medical domain and what are the daily wellness domains that I could do myself, and that also I will provide them. Then you will do every day morning, afternoon, evening routines that I will be educating you, and then you will have real important things like executive reset. For example, anything comes up, you pause first, breathe comfortably, then observe what's going on, then move and respond. Okay. So respond, don't emotionally react. So what if you need more than information? Then you enroll in my 12-week journey and take a complete assessment in the first 1 to 3 weeks. Then awaken yourself to whatever that is going on, whatever you automatic behaviors you have cultivated to intentional practices. That is up to 6 weeks. And the 7 to 9 week, you kind of renew, restore the human being behind the executive. Okay, and then sustain for 10 to 12 week, build a 12-month blueprint that outlines the program. Okay, so that is what you build over 12 weeks is um, you first know your executive heart story and write to lifestyle, what are the risky lifestyles I'm doing, map them out, and then uh, 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 prepare a question sheet for your physicians and go talk to him intelligently, and then with him you develop your plan, and also you will have a personal heart dashboard, and what do you do on a daily basis, and what do you do 12-month heart renewal blueprint. So all those things will be available to you when you work with me. Okay, so it's not taking medication, but instead of taking medications only, you also add these lifestyle changes. Okay, that is very good for you. Okay, so I will give more information in the landing page I will be sending to everybody. But it's basically uh, directed to senior leaders and executives, entrepreneurs, founders, and also physician leaders, and then senior professionals who are ready to act. All these people will be invited. Okay, and so even if you don't join that program, you can begin today. Know your numbers that you can do by yourself, and then make sure you're moving more, not sitting a lot, not sleeping a lot, and all that. And also, if you sleep well, and that should be nourishing to you. And then improve your food quality and work with your physician. That physician will tell you your plan, and then you can tackle the events that you have, and you can create moments of recovery. Okay, so one question before I leave you: what is one thing you know about your wellness today that you are no longer willing to postpone? I don't eat well. Suppose you discover that by just paying attention, then you say, okay, I'm going to change this. I'm going to learn what is proper diet. I'm going to learn how to prepare. I'm going to learn how to eat sitting down on the table. And I'm going to revisit these diets, my cravings and everything, so that my nutrition will be improved like that. Okay. Ask the questions. Do I move? Do I take it easy and not stress things? All those things. Okay, so don't wait for the wake up call when you have a heart attack or stroke. A lot of people wake up at that time. Okay, so your career has a strategy. Your heart deserves one too. That's my message. Okay, this is an executive heart renewal. You can schedule for an executive heart renewal conversation if you want, and then we can go through all that. Okay, so you can always think about this and then see. As a physician, my responsibility is to help the society to reduce the number of strokes and heart attacks. Many families get really beaten up because they get this sudden nose. You don't have to in this day and age. You can use a lot of modern technology, modern breakthroughs, and also ancient wisdom to help ourselves to live better. Okay. So, what do you think, Sharvi? Hello? Maybe she is not there. Yeah. Well, many people also did not show up because that is how much interest they show these things. Yeah. What do you think, Sharmi?
Always knowing about it is better, but following it is the only challenge.
Yeah.
Because of all the other better, but we have to know it's about health. It's not something you can take it for granted. Prevention is always better, like you said.
But lot of people are not paying attention till something happens to them. Wake up call. By the time that could be very serious. Yeah.
Yes. The heart centers for women and men are also different, no? Like for women,
No,
yeah,
both.
menopause, they say she's at more risk at the heart.
Yeah, as well, she has the estrogen protection somewhere. But then these days, women are also having a lot more heart attacks. And then training is such that women heart attacks are missed, because they present differently, but the same risk factors, same thing are going on. So I don't discriminate between men and women because everybody is having heart attacks either because they are all exposed to the same stresses basically. It used to be only men, but now women are also equally exposed, sometimes more because
Yeah, the statistics was 1:4 women are
yeah,
much too prone to menopause.
yeah,
Post-menopause, first thing that gives them is heart attack, it states. Yeah, I was
yeah.
shocked to know.
Yeah, lots of times people miss them because they don't present in a typical manner, like a left hand radiation and all that. They may have some indigestion, some stomach upset, something like that. So, any sensation in the chest, we need to investigate for cardiac arrest also. That is the current teaching, so that people don't miss out on epigastric distress or vomiting or anything like that. Also, can indicate as a heart attack. Okay, so you got to see the risk factor profile, and whoever comes with this any sensation in the chest, we will take an EKG and make sure that's all okay, and also check cholesterol and all. But many number of women have the same risk factors, same things that they neglect this, and that they will be going after the uh, career rather than protecting their health and then going for the career. Okay, so I am as a, social scientist, as somebody who is responsible for the wellness of everybody. I worry about these things, and then so when people come and consult me, they have a cardiac plan. They have a health plan that they could implement on a daily, simple processes. And once they do that, they are very happy about it. Okay? So I'm going to do this as a big movement, like a proactive wellness movement we were doing. We're making people be aware of how to be proactively well. And now this is specifically for leaders, for the executives. Okay. I'm going to do the webinar.
They are the one who are more prone to the stress and then low time,
Yeah.
the executives, yeah.
Actually, what is happening is these executives control a lot of lives, their families, their friends, their employees. Sometimes some people control millions of dollars of in the company. So when they get hurt, not only they get hurt, many patients, many families also get hurt. Okay, so helping these executives is of paramount importance, not only for their sake, for their family's sake, but also the employees that are working under them. So, suppose a company CEO reports that he has a heart attack, immediately the company's stock will go down. You know,
Yeah, yeah. It's responsible for it.
yeah, and then you'll be surprised how many executives don't pay attention to this till late, and that's why heart attack is still number one cause of the deaths everywhere. Many of the stroke victims, for example, within 6 months after having the stroke, they become disabled, they become wheelchair bound, and they stay in the nursing home and they are lost for the society. They also lost their valuable life that otherwise they could live. Right? In my own case, I had the stroke in 2014, but I came back within a month because I'm kind of familiar with these things, neuroplasticity and micro yoga, pranayama, living in the present, and all. Those helped me immensely to do aggressive physical therapy and get my function back. Okay, lots of times what happens is the physical therapy provided is so inadequate. These people develop fibrosis in the paralyzed limb, and then it is very difficult to get it back. But if you start to exercise right from the beginning and also not allow the fibrosis to develop, you can get your original function back, which I did. You know, so a lot of people don't do that. You can combine modern treatments and also ancient treatments. I'm an example of that, and also live better in your own life. I'm now functional. I'm being useful for so many people and around the world, right? And also, I'm developing these awareness programs where people are really understanding that they have so much potential, so much peace and happiness with which they can live, right? So this is a good program I'm going to be doing. Probably I will take a couple of people to train and then help them to get out of it. I have a lot of corporations here in Des Moines, so some companies will be enrolled and they will be given this program. Okay, so you can, Sharmi, you can also refer to people you know that are executives, that are leaders, that are men and women, and then refer them to this program or bring them to the webinar, which is going to be free. But then when the program starts, that is going to be requiring paying fee and all that. That's only done for them on one-on-one. They will have 2 times a week interview with me. First week they'll understand what their problems are, what they can do, and then second hour they will be learning about it, what they were doing, how it is functioning or not. Like that, they will meet me 24 times in that 12-week period. Okay, and then we will be giving them a master plan at the end of it, and they can go and visit me next time in 1 year. If they don't really want that, they can do all these things. But the thing is, they have to be motivated, they have to have a structured plan, and they have to understand a lot of intricacies. So I'll be acting as the guide for them. It's up to them. But for the webinars, for the free information like this class and all that, you can bring in people who are interested, whom you want to help. Okay, they can come, right?
It is a good initiative, and I know there are a lot of requirements for this. But the only thing is that people we are not convinced because so much of these initiatives are there. We are like so confused. I don't even wanted to post them. I wanted a good testimonials or something where I can share it with them. I know the doctor needs I want you to take a corporate training only on this.
Yeah, no, there is a corporate wellness training going on right now. But the thing is, this is specifically for the executives to take care of their heart.
Yeah.
So,
I will see, doctor. I'm also looking for the menopause training corporate. I can pitch for this also along with that.
yeah,
I can pitch for this also. As my
yeah,
partner, or
it's
as
a more like a
yeah.
you want to help the service. Okay, so that
Yeah,
people
yeah,
can get
I,
benefited, So I
yeah,
look at
yeah.
like that. That's why whoever comes, I will
I'm
talk to
planning
them.
to I'm planning to put a small webpage kind of thing. There I will be, if you with your permission, I can say that for these things, my friend or the Dr. Rao is there. You can always approach me.
No,
Like
it is not just Dr. Rao.
yeah.
It is the
Yeah,
institution
yeah,
we are
no, I know.
developing. We are developing
Yeah, yeah,
BFL.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
in a
before
major
doing
way.
it, I'll check with you what I should miss, what I should properly put it because I'm just I mean, just
No, what it
small
is,
things I
Sharmi,
did.
this is the crux of the matter. People either they pursue something because it is personally important for them, because they have a family, but the people who come to listen to me are going to be very effective when they understand what is this need for the society, what is the service Dr. Rao and his company is providing, why that is important. If you can explain to them, then people will realize that they may need that and then they have to come and explore that. Or if you just say, oh, you sleep better or you feel better, that's only a few minutes. But you have to have a micro practices on a daily basis that you could do. That requires a training, that requires understanding, that requires a lot more information than just a sound bite. Okay? So that's when they work with me one on one, they get to that very quickly. That's why I put these courses, and then people who come, I kind of help them. But it is the responsibility of the people who are involved in these movements to spread it around. Okay, for the common good, for the wellness of everybody. That's kind of.
So yes, I will do my best. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you can do. You can only keep that in mind and serve the world by enhancing this kind of opportunities. And then I have prepared workbook for every week yesterday. So they will be given, and then once the workbook is done, they will have a lot more answers to their own questions. Okay, and then they can come with what's going on with me. For example, your blood sugar is high. I remember one time one diabetic established taking insulin tells me that she could be pre-diabetic. So, being a diabetic taking insulin and you are calling yourself a pre-diabetic, see how they are. Okay, that's how people are kind of.
Oh, women, she is diabetic, and I was telling her, I'll put you to a dietitian. I know proper one. She believes in me. If I say somebody, she believes the person. But she doesn't have time. She's working. She's going to family, and she's emotionally distressed. Oh my God. We can only tell them, but they have to take the initiative next step.
No,
That's
the important
yeah.
thing is I always want
Yeah.
them to know what I'm talking about. The second thing is come and experience what I'm promising. And then you can go and tell other people this worked for me, you can also do that. Okay? That kind of. See, Janet, for example, she told me that she was immobile in chair, but after participating with me through the morning routine, she is now able to get up and walk. Okay, so that kind of transformation stories are going to be good. Like you could say, oh, my mind settled, I am not thinking that much and all that, I have more peace of mind. That's a transformation. Okay, so results are more important than just saying, oh, you have to go to him is good. Okay, so you got to show them the result, and then people will stick to them. And then see here, what is happening is many people are dying because of the cardiac illness. Even though cardiac care has improved so much is available, not everybody can do that because of the insurance problems, doctors problems, and all that. But the daily things that I am talking about prevent you to go into that eventual emergency situation. That is where the service is, and I think it's very important that people understand this program, especially if they are leaders, if they are executives in a position where commanding a lot more patients or a lot more lives underneath them. Many doctors, many senior employees in the hospitals, they will be targeted. They will be presented this program, and then let them come and take it. So I'm doing that now in the Moines area. Okay, so I'll be practicing to give at least one or two a day, maybe maximum up to four. That means 4 hours every day for 5 days. So we may want to train that much, at least 10 people at the beginning, and then spread it to more people afterwards. So we are going our own marketing plan. But one of the things I would like to do with the friends and people who come and listen to me, understand the significance of it and go and tell everybody else. Not empty promises. Just go and tell people and let them choose it if they want to. And then first they come and experience what I'm talking about, and then they slowly join and then get the benefit of the programs I offer. Anyway, this is a new initiative, so I thought I will introduce to my friends who are here. But then only you came, nobody. Only my sister came, nobody else came. So this is the problem with these people. They say so many things. Shalu said so many things, but when I did the diabetic hub, she didn't even show up and tell her story. And I told her specifically, you come and tell your story, it will be good for other patients. And she never showed up. She said, oh, I will be there at 7:30. And they don't show up. So what is the commitment? Just oral words. I see everything.
No, it should be in actions.
Action, and also I see that I'm not stupid. I can see everything. So anyway, this is going to
I
be
have been traveling, doctor,
yeah.
and my work, I became very ill because pest control I did in my house, cockroach treatment last week, and it has affected me also. My throat became very, very painful, and I developed some kind of a throat infection.
Yeah, you
Last
could
3
be
days,
allergic to
4
that.
days.
Yeah, you could be allergic. That's why you have to leave that
Yeah,
area
yeah,
very ventilated,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
you got
In
to.
one day, I went to cook in the kitchen. In one day itself, I went and cooked in the same kitchen. That is why I got immediate allergy and I'm so sick. I was sorry, doctor. That's why I wish I always
No,
feel so grateful.
it is not the individual events. It's a general tendency. If people have
Yeah,
this
yeah.
tendency, you see, basically what it is, they don't seem to have the same collective spirit I have. They only worried about they only worried about their life, their health, and all. That's it. They don't worry about other people that much as I do, and that shows it in the difference. If they have the same
So
commitment,
finding people like you with a true compassion and a true service mind is such a blessing for somebody in this world. We don't find everybody's commercial mindset, and it's
no,
hard. That is the first thing I see.
that is one of the reasons why the heart disease has become so much. People don't have the heart.
They have not compassion.
They don't have. That's the problem.
Very true. Very true.
Okay, I will do this webinar next Saturday at 9 o'clock my time, 7:30 Indian time. Okay.
I'll bring as much as people from my thing and also executives.
Okay.
Definitely, I'll sign up. I'll make some people to sign up. Whoever will need up. Thank you, doctor. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
Okay, Chanaka. See you later. So, ఎవరు రారు అందరూ ఏదో పెద్ద పని ఉంది వాళ్ళకి. నేను అందుకే పెట్టుకోవట్లే ఇప్పుడు మన లోకల్ కార్పొరేషన్కి వెళ్దాం. ఓకే, అక్కడ తీసుకో. ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు ఏదో ఇంపార్ట్ చేస్తాను అనుకున్నట్టుగా ఉంటారు. అంతే, అసలు ఎవరి మీద ఏముండదు.